Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to your Monday night's edition of the Formula One show, the only place to be on a Monday night. And we come to you from the comfort of our own living room. We hope that you are in, what is it Steve says, that you're comfortable and that you have a beverage. I'm sure he'll run through that in more detail soon. I just see him rocking out in the VIP area to his own music. I could see that, young Stephen. You'll have to talk me through the drums when I introduce you. As always, you can listen back to this show on any podcasting platform. And we are coming to you for half an hour, so 8:30. And it was half an hour because I've got a prior engagement at 8:30. And it's a fun day Monday, Steve. There is no Formula One this weekend.
No.
It's
one of those weekends where usually I think, oh, good, I've got Town to let me down on Saturday, and then I've got Williams to let me down on Sunday, and this week it's just nothing, none of that.
Yeah, you had no. Yeah. Oh, hello. Apologies there, young Steve.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, cheers.
It wasn't my fault. It was this fat art. Look at that. Look, it was him. He sat on my hand and it just clicked the wrong button. Daft, you daft soul. Right. So yes, you were only let down. Well, no, you weren't let down at all this weekend.
Not quite. Almost.
Shock.
Almost.
Yes, almost. So what did you do on the Sunday without the Formula One?
I can't remember. I generally can't remember. It's like one of those Saturdays without Formula One. I think, what did I do? I think I just potted around the house, got some stuff done around the house. Really, it was a nice day off. So
good. I had no NFL. I had no Formula One. Town had won. I didn't know what to do with myself. I really didn't. It was unfamiliar territory.
I spent a few hours playing on the Xbox with a good friend, so it was a good way to kill some time.
Good. And I'd say another person who maybe had nothing to do this weekend was, of course, the main man himself, the Lando Norris Appreciation Society Club Chairman, Mr. Neil Moles. Neil, welcome in. How you doing? He can't hear us.
I like the sound.
Hello. Not too bad. Does that actually exist? What I'm apparently chairman of.
I've got no idea if it does. I'll enroll you. But your NFL team played Thursday. Your town team won Saturday, and obviously no Formula One Sunday. So no sort of strange weekend for you as well, really.
Yeah, I was busy making the table, so that's sorted.
The things she has you doing, my friend. The things she has you doing.
No
rest for the wicked, as they say.
No.
And did the table end up at the table, or is it still in a couple of pieces?
It's a table. Yeah, it's got its legs and everything. Wouldn't be much of a table without them.
That's pretty much what you need, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So Steve was pottering. You were making a table. And what did I do? I can't quite remember. But whatever it was, it probably wasn't as exciting as making a table. I tried making a table once. This is a true story, right? So don't laugh too hard. But I tried making a table and I made it upside down. Stop laughing in the kitchen.
How do you do that? I was trying to balance your plate on the leg and go, something isn't right here.
I turned it upside down and I was... Oh, hang on. I turned it back. Oh, no. What have I done here?
Oh, dear.
So that was quickly dismantled. And then taken back to the shop in the box. There's a problem with the table. I didn't really
you.
So is it the table or yeah?
Yeah, my DIY
dear.
is something to be marvelled at. Right. Obviously, being a free weekend, there are several things that we could do with the show. There are several things that we can't do with the show. But something that has been fairly well received on other shows that I am host of has been this little thing. And on it is several topics. So things that Steve has mentioned to me that we should talk about this evening. I will click it and we'll take it in turn. So Steve will go first, then Neil, and we'll start the conversation off. So wherever it lands on, we'll start the conversation off, and then we'll have a 5-minute conversation about whatever that topic is. It's all F1 related, and then we'll move on to the next person's spin. Does that sound okay? I know the yellow and green together doesn't look great, but I can't do anything about that, I'm afraid.
You got the double blue and the green and yellow next to each other.
It's not
sacre bleu.
I absolutely. So let's quickly spin the wheel. Who wants to go first? So Steve or Neil? I mean, I said Steve, but it could be Neil.
Sir Steve, is he Redgrave now or something?
Sir Steve. Right, you ready, Steve?
As far as I know. Yeah, okay, it's good.
I'll click it for you, my man. Here we go. Wheel of Fortune. Here it comes.
Come on.
And you have got... First topic is... Four-way fights for the third in championship.
I was really hoping for the Russell one. Yeah, it's looking pretty close. Obviously, Mercedes have won it, runaway winners. Red Bull are going to get seconds, but you've got a four-way fight for third between Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, and Renault. And I thought it was going to be quite close, but not this close because, I mean, there's only a matter of points in it, especially between third and fourth, and it's all changed at the minute. And you've got teams that are stronger in other circuits, teams that are stronger in other ones compared, so it's going to be a really good fight for third. I can see Racing Point getting it, especially with Sergio Perez because he's doing a fantastic job. Lance Stroll is Lance Stroll. I can see Racing Point getting that third place, but who knows? Because every race is different.
Neil, who do you think will take third place? Steve's almost hanging his hat there on Racing Point. Are you in agreement with that, or do you think somebody else will pinch that?
It depends, really. It's almost... If Ricciardo keeps getting the third places every now and again for Renault, then they'll soon jump up. And if Perez keeps getting them thirds, then it's on Racing Point. So, annoyingly for me, McLaren have dropped away a bit, so they're almost trying to hang on to what points they got early on.
Yeah. Could Ferrari? Because they're resurgent, right? They're on the way back.
Yeah. They could.
I don't know. I don't know if Ferrari will. I think because Vettel seems to have found his form at the last race, which is it's too late in the season now. He's finally got it. Binotto, the team principal, was saying he's finally comfortable with that car. There's only 3 races to go.
Bit late, isn't it?
It is. And Leclerc has been doing a fantastic job because there is no way he should be fit in that championship in that car. No, fifth, because Perez is 4th. But Vettel, I don't know, Leclerc can't do it on his own. Vettel has done well at the last race, but he's had a really underwhelming season, which is heartbreaking. But I can't see Ferrari doing it. I think 5th at best for them.
Legacy Bates thinks Racing Point for him too. Is better on who he follows. Is it testament to the team at Ferrari that we're talking about them? Because only, I think, 3 races ago, they were fighting AlphaTauri for 6th. Now we're talking... And not just mentioning them as passing, but actually credible challenges to third. Is that a testament to the team and the drivers?
They've done well because we've written them off pretty early on in the season. But Leclerc has always been consistent this year. Vettel has been not been the issue, but has been the one that struggled this year, and results haven't gone his way. He's made some silly errors again, which has become almost part of him as a driver the past couple of seasons, which is painful to watch. But I think it's good to see them at least in the fight now, and at least being able to fight for, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And I think it's a testament to everyone involved. To be fair, they've turned that car around.
that last race for Vettel when he done really well. You think all the other people that were spinning and he didn't, and what has he been known for lately? Losing it without even having to have anyone near him, and he
That's
didn't.
it.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
which
few drivers
was
have kept it on
really
circuit.
good to see.
And obviously, Renault have been a really impressive outfit this year. So at times, maybe the best, if not second best or third best car on the whole grid. Turkey wasn't a great race for Renault. Do we expect them to be back towards their best for the next three, or do we feel that this is maybe a point of the season where they're sort of step away?
The thing is, I thought the weather conditions would have gone towards Renault because their strengths are traction and out of the slow corners. So yeah, I would have thought for the wet weather and the poor conditions that would have played into their hands. Even though Turkey as a whole is quite a fast-paced track, which is more of a McLaren strength. Yeah, because McLaren are good in the fast corners.
I think the issue with Renault this year has been Esteban Ocon. No doubt that he's a really talented driver, but yeah, Ricciardo's got a couple of podiums out of that car. He's out-qualified Ocon quite heavily. Ocon hasn't really done anything that you can really say, oh, brilliant, he's had a great season. You know, you've got other drivers like Stroll getting that pole position. Brilliant stuff. Perez with the podium. Stroll's podium, obviously. Ricciardo getting podiums. And obviously Norris and Sainz. But Ocon hasn't really done anything to shine. And I think that's what's letting him down. It's also letting the team down as well, because they need both drivers to be performing.
I think, like with Leclerc, that's outperformed Vettel. Ricciardo's outperformed Ocon. Perez has outperformed Stroll. In each of those teams, there's always been one driver that has been really good, and the other one has been a bit lackluster. Whereas in McLaren, and at the start of the season, it was Sainz, but now you've got Norris.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I think the thing with the drivers outperforming the other ones, you notice it more with Ferrari. A, because it's Ferrari, and the media is always on them, and B, because it's Vettel. You know, he's a four-time world champion. He's one of the most successful drivers of recent years. So to see him being beaten by a young, obviously not a rookie anymore, but by a young guy like Leclerc, and being really beaten like week in, week out solidly, there's going to be more attention on him than there is on the likes of Stroll or Ocon. Like, Ocon has really got under the radar this year. So,
and if I had to press you, make a bold claim on who takes third to me, and before we let Neil spin the wheel of fortune, who do you both take? And I'll write this down. In three races time, we can come back to it. So, Steve, who's your money on if you're a betting man?
Racing Point.
Okay, Neil.
I would believe that that's probably who it's going to be, but to be different, I think I'm going to...
McLaren.
Nah, I still don't feel it. Like I say, they're still riding on the high they had early in the season, and unless they come up with a package that works quickly, then they've tailed off. So I'm going to say Ferrari.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Right, Neil.
I really hope you're right. Neil, I hope you are right with that, because if Vettel can get the results, then I'd love to see it. So I hope that does come true.
Absolutely. Right. You ready, Neil?
I am.
When you say spin, I'll spin it.
Spin it.
Here
No, the other way.
Sorry, mate. I've only got one way. Here we go. And it is. Oh, it's an interesting one, this one. Toto Wolff saying Bott and Ham are perfect pairing for Mercedes. What do you think?
There's only one reason why.
Tell us. Tell me and tell the people at home. Why?
Tell the dog as well.
Toby's got his ideas.
Toby heard the word wolf and was off.
Oh, yeah. Basically, Hamilton, if they're planning on sticking with him, even though contracts are still being spoken about and not signed, if they still believe he's the number one, Bottas is there just to back him up. he's a gentleman really, and he's a good number two. Sturdy, do a job, nothing fantastic, but enough, and he just keeps the balance at the team. I think that's as far as they mean that they're a good pairing, because really they're not on the same level, are they? Let's be clear about it.
No,
Steve, go on, Steve. Sorry.
That's right. Go on.
I was going to say you brought this topic to me. So what were you thinking when you read it, when you heard it?
Exactly the same as Neil. Oh yeah, they're the perfect pairing because they know they're not going to have any issues between the pair of them, like the Hamilton-Rosberg era. Hamilton's their diamond guy. He's the number one boy. They're obviously going to put everything into him, and they know that Bottas is supremely fast on his day. We saw him put it out the bag for pole position in Russia. But they know at the end of the day, he's going to be the one who's happy to play rear gunner and sit in second. And he says he's not. He says he wants the challenge, but I'm still waiting for the challenge for Lewis this year because he said he had a plan to beat him. I'm still waiting for that. And he just irritates me. I mean, I like Bottas. I really do because he's a nice guy. But unfortunately, being a nice guy in Formula One doesn't get you success. I mean, Felipe Massa, Rubens Barrichello, nice guys. David Coulthard, but none of them won a championship, and they all played second fiddle to teammates.
I've just renamed this segment the Bemoaning Bottas bit.
It's just gone back to normal.
Somehow you've managed to squeeze this segment in without us even realising. So I've just labelled it just so we can point index it. It's Bemoaning Bottas.
The one segment we can count on, right?
Even on a week off.
That's it.
With some of them other names you've mentioned, with Massa and Barrichello, I thought they were both quite good drivers in their day. But DC always, for me, seemed a little bit... He is almost the Bottas, really. He never was quite good enough.
Coulthard was a
consistent number two.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately for Coulthard...
He was nothing more than a consistent number two for me. He every now and again on his day he would push Hakkinen, but push come to shove, they had an agreement on one of the races that whoever went into the first corner first, you've won the race. So if that's the way you're happy to do things, for me you're a bit of a number two, aren't you?
Yeah, that's Bottas all over, isn't it, that one? But Massa and Barrichello. I mean, Barrichello had maybe the fortune or the misfortune to be Schumacher's teammates at Ferrari for all those years. Massa came within 1 point of winning the World Championships. He got closer than Barrichello ever did. And I love Massa. I think Rubens and Massa are probably my two favourite F1 drivers of all time, apart from Button. And Massa... Oh no, he came so close to winning that championship, and I was really rooting for him. And then he never seemed to recover from that. He had his accident in 2009, and then from then on, he was basically written into a number two role at Ferrari with Alonso. But it's a similar thing to Bottas. He's now spent so long. I think this is his fourth season alongside Hamilton at Mercedes in a number two role. So he's basically just cemented himself as that nice number two guy who's happy just to play along, really. So of course,
he needs something new to, give his career a bit of a reboot, because it's getting a bit old, really, isn't it? But the thing is, there's nowhere to go. No position is as good as the one he's in now, and it's basically cemented as a one-way race, isn't it? Really,
that's the thing. I mean, with Bottas, you want to fight for a championship. Well, I'm assuming he does. I mean, he must be in Formula One for a reason other than to just hang around. You're going to want to fight for a championship. You know that you're in the best car to do that by a long way, but you're never going to get that chance with Lewis. So what do? Do you wait and hang around to see when Lewis retires? Or do you try and go for, I'm not saying they'd want him, but someone like Ferrari or Red Bull or Aston Martin to see what happens? I mean, it's an awkward situation for him because he's in the best car to win a championship, but he's never going to win a championship in it. I feel bad for him, really.
He was good at Williams, but who was his teammate when he was at Williams?
Massa.
Because
And for a
I
large
don't
part of it, he
remember.
actually outperformed
Yeah.
Massa.
And you think he never pushed on from there?
I think it was a strange decision because Rosberg won his championship and then said, right, that's it, I'm done, which was hugely surprising. But I don't begrudge him for that. I mean, he came, he won his championship, he did what he wanted to do. He's got a family, a young daughter at that point. Go and spend time with your family. You've lived your dream. You've won a championship. So Mercedes then think, okay, you need a replacement. Bottas, he's solid, he's reliable. He's done a good job at Williams. Like, he's outperformed Massa for a lot of it, and Massa had far more experience. He's got some good results under his belt, so he'll do. But he must have known that you're going into this as a number 2 driver, because realistically, we're going to back Lewis.
Do you think Hamilton would be equaling Schumacher now if Rosberg was still there?
In championships, I think quite possibly, because I think Hamilton had the consistency. I think he consistently sort of had the edge over Rosberg, but I would say that he wouldn't have as many wins as he does now because Rosberg would have fought. I mean, like Bottas is happy to back down. Rosberg would fight tooth and nail for a position. We saw that in Spain 2016. But I don't know. I think Rosberg he wouldn't maybe have another championship, but I think that's about it. I don't know.
I almost think that early on this season, where Mercedes actually seemed quite weak, especially in Austria, where they had to keep off the curbs and things. If they had Rosberg in there still, he would have pushed Hamilton hard. And I think that's where some of Mercedes' failures came, because they're pushing each other so much. The car can't handle it as much, whereas now Hamilton can really do what he wants. Bottas isn't really pushing him, and they'll just say, turn it down, keep off the curbs. We'll hear a bit of moaning from them because, well, we're supposed to be racing. Keep off the ruddy curbs. Like, really?
No, I think you're right there because, if Rosberg was still behind him and they're going, okay, guys, keep off the curbs and just bring it home, Rosberg would be like, no, sod that. I'm going to go for the win. Yeah. I'm in the only car that can challenge Lewis. I'm going to fight him. And it might have driven them both to retirements. And that would have been awesome to see. Just the Mercedes actually forcing each other into retirement. Brilliant. But
and you found...
Go on. Keep it off the curb, Valtteri. Okay, I'll get Lewis next time.
Yeah, oh dear.
But there's never next time.
You think, and when Rosberg was there, Mercedes did seem to have a few issues. They would have races where they'd dominate and then someone would retire, and they haven't had that this season. And I think there is quite a lot of the fact that they haven't pushed the cars so hard.
But that car is virtually bulletproof.
Right, we've got 3 questions left, and we've got 7.5 minutes. So, Steve, when you are ready, my friend,
go for it.
We will have the spin. Here we go. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, it stopped.
Oh, I thought it was Russell there.
No,
it's
who will be in the Red Bull seat next year?
Red Bull.
Me.
Yep, Neil Moles.
Neil Moles. Sorry.
Neil Moles and Alex Albon. They'll get rid of Verstappen. Max Verstappen, obviously. But obviously, the big question is over Albon, and I think it's all signs are pointing to Perez right now. As much as my heart wants it to be Nico Hülkenberg, I think Perez has done a fantastic job this year. He's completely destroyed his teammate despite missing 2 races through COVID, and he's consistent. I think every race he's been in the points, which is awesome. So he's 4th in the championship right now, well deserved. Great podium, his best result since 2012. And I think he deserves it. So my vote's going on Perez.
Neil? Agree? Disagree?
I'm still not convinced that they're going to get rid of Albon. They seem to... They like this one, and they almost feel burnt from the Gasly saga, so...
You can tell they like him a lot, and they don't want to get rid of him.
Yeah, they with Gasly, as soon as a few bad performances happened, it was basically, we've got Albon, so see you later. Albon jumps up, and yeah, for whatever reason, they seem to like him. So I just believe that. Not that I 100% believe he should keep it because he hasn't been good enough. I feel that he probably will.
Okay, perfect. Love that. Right, let's move it on to the next one. When you say spin, I'll spin the wheel.
Spin.
It's like a satellite delay in America on the news, isn't it?
Yep, that's just in general with Neil. Who could be driving for Haas next year?
You want to give it a go, Martin?
Yeah, not me. Over to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Elvis, calm down.
He's left the building.
I can give it a go if you like. But
I don't really know. I can't even think at this minute who's. Are we looking at some of the Ferrari juniors at this moment? So Mick Schumachers and the like.
Steve will say Mick Schumacher. Steve loves Mick Schumacher.
Yeah. Is Hulkenberg in a running for a seat there?
I don't know. His name hasn't popped up with that. He's mainly really been linked to Red Bull. I don't know if that's just hearsay or whatever, but I'd love to see it. I think the two big names that are popping up right now are Mick Schumacher and Schwartzman, because they're both running well in in F2. Schumacher's currently leading F2. I want to see Schumacher in Formula One, not just because he's a Schumacher, but I think he's a really talented driver. And I reckon they will go for him. Right, Ben? Schwartzman would be the sponsorship, I reckon. Or maybe Nikita Mazepin, because he brings a lot of sponsorship money as well, and Haas need the money.
Yeah.
They've not made a secret of that, and they have struggled. They've not really pushed on like they wanted to in recent seasons. But team principal, team boss, Gunther Steiner, he said we're aware of the risks of having two rookies. I would say, if it's in my heart, I would say, yeah, exactly what Ben's just said. That would be my choice.
In some ways,
there that
a revamp to Haas would actually do them a favour for me, because
Perez and Hulkenberg
at Haas, I can't see it, but yeah, it'd be good
because Perez has sponsorship money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be brilliant because you've got two very experienced drivers, two very consistent drivers, two brilliant drivers.
It depends how much Ferrari have to say in it. Because that's something I was getting into, the fact that they need a bit of a revamp for me. Mm-hmm. They came in as basically Ferrari Mark II, using all their second-hand parts, and then they had two drivers that sort of tailed off and I don't really care about. So Haas, as far as I was concerned, was a bit of a nothing team on the grid. Now, if they can do some rebrand to get some drivers in alike and be, an actual team of their own and not Ferrari B team, then I might be more interested in them.
For me. As long as Schumacher gets a seat, that's all I care about. Anyone's better than Grosjean.
And we've got...
I actually quite like Ilott, but I don't know if he's actually in the running for the seat there or not.
I haven't heard too much about it.
No, I do agree with you. Schumacher and Hulkenberg would be, that'd be a good pairing.
Yeah, I just... Yeah, well, there you go. Sometimes I'm right. So I'm just trying to look at Ilott and trying to see if there's anything. On the 6th of October, they said they won't be judging Ilott on outright pace. But this was Haas. So they're looking at him. You'd say, if they're not judging him on outright pace, so they're obviously on the radar, as you'd imagine. But obviously, maybe further on the radar than a couple of other people.
Schumacher's got a lot of weight with his name. just like with Bruno Senna. Carrying that
Yeah.
name takes you over the line, doesn't it? It's yeah.
It's like
it can be
club
great for
football.
your career, but it can also end your career. Because if you're a Schumacher and you start performing under par,
Mm.
you're not going to escape it.
Yes, the gift and the curse.
But what will this Schumacher be like? Because the last one was ruthless. So win at all costs. Will
Well, I
Mick
don't know,
be
you've
quite
had
the
three.
same?
You had two, haven't you? Michael was ruthless. Ralph was Ralph.
Wet lettuce.
So hopefully he's more Michael than Ralph.
Well,
Yeah.
as you just said though, with the Schumacher name, you've either got to be ruthless, or you will be known as the latter because you've got such
I
a
remember
high
when
standard.
Yeah.
Toyota signed Schumacher, and they went absolutely crazy in Japan because it was like, "Woo, we got a Schumacher!" And then they found out they had Ralph.
Yeah, yeah. You know which one you've got, right, guys? Oh, yeah.
And we're done. We've missed one category out, I'm afraid.
It's the best one.
But there'll be another week soon where it's empty and we can keep it on the list, Steve. So make sure next time there's a Fun Day Monday, that is the first thing you send to me in addition to 3 or 4 other items that I can once again bring the Wheel of Fortune out. But we are done for this week. I must run. I'm late already. This is not good. I've probably gone 14-0 down inside the first minute and I'm not even there. But no, I will love you and leave you. So Neil, thank you for joining us as always.
Thank you.
Steve, would you like to lead us out, please, sir?
Yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for getting involved. Love to see it. It's brilliant. Yeah, we'll see you next week at Monday after the Bahrain Grand Prix, 8 p.m.
Yes, I did have questions, but I've forgotten them, so I'll bring them next week.
Okay.
Sorry, just remembered them. You just prompted me by saying thanks for getting involved. I've got questions, but never mind. Right, yes.
We'll find out next week.